Drugs are nothing new to me. I've done multiple drugs. I've been around drug addicts. Drugs are something that I find very interesting. Today I want to talk about some drug experiences that I've had in my lifetime. So to begin this, you have to understand I was very young. This seemed to be around the 8th grade. So before this, me or none of my friends had really done nothing harder than, smoke weed and vape. Maybe an occasional drink. But one day, one of our friends found a fucking shroom plug. And we're like, yo, that's so cool. And fucking, it's whatever. So this happened around Christmas time. So my mom had just given me like $50. So this was convenient. So I pull up to my friend's house. The dude pulls up. We buy our shit. I had eaten like 2 grams, I think. And then we had, the bright idea, yo, let's go to school. So we go to school. It's around lunchtime because we were skipping. And we pull up, and I just immediately, the lunchroom was too much for me. It was so fucking loud. Like, I could not, handle myself in there. Eventually, lunch ends, whatever. I go to 5th period. In 5th period, I just, could not do anything. It was wood tech, I'm pretty sure. We were sitting there just we were working on, a speaker, a wooden speaker. But that's besides the point. Shit doesn't really start getting real till 6th period. I get to 6th period, and we're working on a partner project with our, table partner. And we're doing, some magnetic field shit. And this is when the shit really started to kick in. I'm sitting there, and I noticed, the Santa Claus thing is moving, rocking back and forth. Back and forth, back and forth. And what I mean by the Santa Claus thing, it's like a decoration. Because this was around Christmas time, December. But anyways, I see it rocking back and forth, back and forth. I'm just sitting there, okay? That's the first thing. Well, we started doing our little project. I'm with this fucking nerdy-ass nigga. He's cool. He was cool. But we're sitting there, and I just started looking at the wall. I don't know why. I felt like my head was gonna, pop the fuck off. You know what, the feeling of euphoria, that, extreme happiness? I was getting so much of that. The wall was, melting down, I don't know, I can't say really butter. Even, the fucking nerdy kid next to me was like, are you tripping? So that was pretty funny. So keep in mind, this was my first time ever doing shrooms, and I went to school. I did not get caught, but the first time I did acid, I also went to school. So let's group that into there. So I had around $15 one day, and the same friend, who got me the shrooms, he also had an acid plug. Again, this is 8th grade. This maybe happened 3 months later. So we're sitting there, and I buy it at 10 p.m. He pulls up to my house, and I just give him the money. He hands me the tab. Well, I pop it the next morning. It's around 4th period when I get to school. Well, I'm into school, and it's just, I think I was in math class. And we were doing something with dice. It was weird. I wasn't a retard math. I don't know. I'm doing psychedelics and going to school, so that probably makes sense. But we're doing something with dice, and it's just, the dice looks so fucking weird to me. And I had this very short, teacher. She was a very short lady. And remember, I stood up, and I keep in mind, in 8th grade, I was probably 5'4", 5'5". I stand up, and she just feels I feel like a giant compared to her, because I asked to use the bathroom. Well, the day keeps going on. It's lunchtime. Nothing's really happening. Go to 5th. Nothing's really happening. And again, it's during 6th period I start peaking. Well, in 6th period, I had, what was it? Earth science or something like that? I completely forgot what earth science is. All I remember is the teacher was a fucking bitch. I didn't like her. But I'm sitting there, and we're doing, some tests. So we had to, move. We had, a desk down from the person you were sitting next to. It's fucking stupid, but it was whatever. It's on the computer. And I'm sitting there. I'm not doing this fucking test because it's stupid. I didn't understand it. I was a retard. And I look up, and she had, the table of elements, and then there was, a smiley face. I look down from the smiley face, and I look at my hands, and there's a bunch of hexagons all over my hands. I look back up. The teacher's at the front of the fucking class. She's just sitting there for some reason. I look up, and her face, like, it's like my head exploded with colors, and like the teacher's face started to glitch out, and it was freaking me the fuck out. I was like, yo. And I had another friend in that class, and apparently he said that whole time I was like mumbling to myself, so that's average. Again, I did not get caught, so that was definitely my first, crazy time for my first ride with psychedelics. Okay, so I've never really had like a crazy experience with pills, except for it didn't really have to do with me. It had to do with my friend, but we'll get on that story, but we'll discuss my stories first. So the only really pills I've done that it can be considered hard is hydrocodone. One of my friends in freshman year stole a bunch from his grandma, and I took a bunch of them and I hit the pen and I just fucking yacked all over a fucking playground. So that's really my crazy story about what pills, my personal experience. But fucking one of my friends car hopped this antidepressant, and I don't know what the fuck this retard was thinking, but I don't know. We met up at 8 o'clock in the morning, and he's like, yo, I'm geeking out, bro. I'm geeking out. And he sobered up. We went to the store, we stole a soda, and we got caught, so that already tripped me out. They were like, the cops are coming. This was freshman summer going into sophomore, but we're sitting there, and I popped 3 or 4 of them. So why not? It was some bullshit. It was Barabapine or something like that. I don't really even know what it was, but I'm sitting there. This retard pops 5 of them. So I'm like, okay. And we're just sitting there at fucking park for a little bit, and we see our other friends, because our other friend lived right across the street from the park. They pull up on their fucking e-bikes. One of them had a vitamin water, and my friend who popped the pills was like, yo, let me get a sip of your vitamin water. He pops 2 more. We didn't know he was gonna pop these. Are we serious? So we start walking to the dugouts at the baseball field, because it was really close to the park. We sit there, and one of our other friends is like, yo, fuck this, I'm gonna go get food. So he dips. This is the one with the vitamin water. So it's just me, the friend who popped the pills, and then we're just sitting there, we're just chilling out. And then we were gonna smoke. We were trying to take a couple dabs. So we're like, all right. And we're sitting there, and the friend who popped the pills pulls out his pick, and he's like, who wants to smoke? And we were we were just laughing, because we were yeah, this nigga's fucking around with us. And then he starts seizing out and flops to the floor, and we're like, help. Lucky there was a couple there, and they knew what to do, because the lady's sister has seizures and shit. I don't know how to say it. I fucked that up, but she knew what to do. That shit was pretty scary, because I was already geeking out, and fucking this nigga starts seizing. Never seen some shit like that before in my life, so that was pretty crazy. He was fine. He lived and shit. He's still alive to this day, type shit, but that's definitely my craziest experiences with pills. So today, this is basically going to be the last segment for this video, but this is basically just going to cover shit I don't really consider that hard. So this is just me getting way too high, or some stupid shit you can steal from the gas station or fucking Walgreens. So for weed stories, I really don't have any crazy weed stories. So maybe when I first started smoking, I was smoking with this kid who I really don't like anymore, but it was his first time smoking, and this is my first, I basically came back. I'd quit for a long ass time. This is my first time coming back, and I was smoking with this kid. So we bought it a $6 joint. This is when weed prices here were still good. So we're sitting there. We're at the baseball dugouts, and we're just smoking this joint. And this kid's tweaking out. He's he brought a basketball. So we were let's go shoot hoops, bro. And keep in mind, this kid lived right across the street. So we're sitting there, and he's like, she shoots a hoop and it gets stuck, and we're like, and he looks over and he's like, that's my uncle. And it was just construction workers working on this shit. I'm like, nigga, you're geeking. And he's like, yo, this isn't real life. You're not real. And he's like, you're not real. He says my name. I was like, bro, all right, bro, I'm real. And this nigga, like, he's like, Jesus, if you awake me from this, Jesus, I promise I'll never do it again. And call me a bad person all you want, but by this point I'm recording, because this shit's fucking hilarious. Come on, this is 7th grade. So my judgment skills, I mean, even to this day, aren't that good, but 7th grade, they were probably worse. So I'm recording, and this nigga gets on the ground on his knees and starts praying in the dugouts, and I'm like, bro. So that's one of my that's another crazy weed story. My own personal, I really don't have anything that crazy. Most of the time I just like throw up. I mean, the most recent one was kind of crazy because, like, my friend, this is the friend who's got the shrooms, the acid, whatever the fuck that I mentioned before in this video. He just gotten back from Vegas from the holidays, and he got like a cart from the dispo down there. And it was like a really strong ass cart, and I stayed up all night, and I went to his house and I hit it, and like as I'm leaving, I can't see, like I'm dead ass blind, like my vision's all blurry and shit, like I like can't see the door. I like lean up against this tree and like throw up. So that shit was pretty crazy. Okay, so that's really about it for weed stories. So let's move on to miscellaneous. So that's stuff like DXM. So let's talk about my DXM stories. So the first time I really did DXM, I stole like a bottle from Walgreens and then one from CVS, and I was like, yo. And I drank both of them, and I didn't go to school that day, and I was like, yo. So I'm like tripping the fuck out. I remember like my body was light. I didn't really hallucinate the first time I did it. I was just like geeked out of my fucking mind. I remember like looking in my eyes. I always throw up when I do DXM. So the first time isn't really crazy. The second time, that one was kind of geeked. I don't know what happened. It was freshman. No. It was 8th grade summer going into freshman. So I remember I had no weed. I was like, fuck. So I fucking, again, hit the lick from the fucking drugstores. I'm like, bet. I drank them, and I'm like, yo, what is going on? Like, I'm in my room. My room is like, it's hot as fuck because it's like midsummer. And I'm just like, yo, what is going on? I'm like rocking back and forth on my bed. I'm like tweaking out. Like, what is going on? And I don't know. That shit had me doing a bunch of bullshit. And then my third DXM experience, this is the final and last one. I was supposed to sneak out with my friends late at night, and instead I drank the DXM because I got bored, because it was, I was just waiting, couldn't wait no longer. Drank it. This is probably why I won't ever do that shit again. The taste is still in my mouth just talking about it. It's Delsum, the syrup. I always was still the grape flavor too, so that grape syrup was in my fucking mouth. It's disgusting. I've never done triple C's, but I'm just sitting there. I remember I'm just laying in my bed, and I've never been so spaced out. I could not even type. My friends are like, are you coming out? And I just could not even type. I was that spaced out, and I fell asleep. I threw up again, and then I fell asleep. So yeah, that really about does it. So yeah. Alright, so this is the end of the video. I know really ain't nobody gonna watch it, so like I don't even know why, but this is something cool. I just wanted to try it, and I don't know. I mean, I'm definitely not that good at it yet. I'm still like I have to cut multiple times 'cause I'm like gasping for breath because I'm not used to talking this much, but it's whatever. But I'm still kind of awkward at it, but yeah. But this has been interesting. I hope you really enjoyed if you watched. And I don't like the name. I really don't like Mid Mango. I've been trying to change it, but this has been Mid Mango. All right, bye-bye.